Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Uh, Now, interestingly, I have stated in my previous video that I have lived in South India for a large part of my life, but I also lived in Central and North India as well. And when I was thinking about it, I have actually experienced quite a lot of cultures and traditions in various parts of the country. And then while I was thinking about it, I came across this very interesting video, which is why do North Indians look different from South Indians? And it's an outsider's perspective. So I don't know what this particular YouTube creator has to say about the differences between the North and the South, but it'll be pretty interesting to see and observe what do people outside the country think about the differences between two regions of the same country. So let's jump right into it.
Before we begin, let's just make one thing clear. Indian is not an ethnicity, not a race, and definitely not a religion. India is currently the second most
That's not a religion
country
for sure.
in the world behind China. But it's not going to be that way for long. It's predicted that at current population growth rates, India will become the world's most populous country for the first time in only 5 years.
So this video is made in 2017. So does that mean we'll be the most populous country by 2022? I don't know that. I think it might be further than that.
The world's most populous country, as opposed to our generation and before, who always remember China as being the world's most populous country.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong in being the most populous country.
At around 1.3 billion people. And for perspective on how astronomically large that number is, the US currently only has about 25% of that number at around 300 million.
I think it's more than 300 for sure. More than 300 million for sure.
There are over 4 Indians. Astonishingly,
a lot of Indians out there.
North and South America are included. India still beats them out population-wise, seeing how the combined population of the Americas is only around 1 billion people. Clearly, there's a lot of people living there.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for us living in the Western world to forget just how much their population
I don't know. I mean,
our own.
They don't realize that there are not people in India everywhere, right? I mean, you go to the villages, there are people, but not as many as you would find in the cities.
Imagine all of the ethnic, linguistic,
from a Western perspective, I think it's like India has people everywhere in the country. They don't know we are the 7th largest country in the world.
The size of Argentina.
No, we are definitely bigger than Argentina.
But most people don't know just how truly diverse it is. And when you include the rest of South
I think we
Asia,
are the 7th largest with I think 3.2 million square kilometers, and Argentina might be like 2.7, I think.
Subcontinent is usually defined as the countries of Bangladesh,
Bangladesh. I don't like the way they say Bangladesh and Pakistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. I mean, you should get the
Middle Eastern because their
pronunciation right.
The Iranian-speaking peoples of Afghanistan and Iran, but we're going to
that's a common pronunciation error. I mean, people don't say Iran, it's Iran.
Main ethnic groups,
but I appreciate the fact that he's been covering a lot of ethnicities.
That are very difficult to classify by ethnicity. There are, however, hundreds, maybe even thousands of smaller and much smaller ethnic groups in the entire region.
That is true. There are so many in our country.
For the most part, people of South Asia can be put into a few very large racial groups. The first peoples to
that was interesting to see Dravidian shade somewhere in Afghanistan and Pakistan, somewhere there.
In the southern portion of India, and also have ethnic groups scattered in the neighboring countries. They're believed to be related to the Melanesian people of the Pacific, such as people from Papua New Guinea, Fiji, and the Australian
That could be possible, I'm not so sure.
Because of this, they have features that are quite distinct from any other group of people in India. The majority of the rest of the region is inhabited by speakers of Indo-European languages known as Indo-Aryans, being unrelated to the Nazi concept of the Aryan race, of course. The Indo-Aryan people migrated into northern India around 3,000 to 4,000 years ago.
I'm pretty sure they're wrong with the date. It's even before that. And there is, people even do say that there was no migration at all. So there's also theory around that. Maybe
which
If
is
that
why
was
the
covered, that would
Indo-Aryan
have been
languages
great.
of India are actually more closely related to the European languages than to the
Yeah,
much
some people, I think there are a
closer
few people who are
geographically
trying to research
Dravidian
that,
languages, believe it or not.
it
Indo-Aryan people
originated in
inhabit the
India and then
northern
moved
portion of
to
India,
Europe.
all
I
of
don't know if that might
Bangladesh,
be the
the
case,
southern
but
part of Nepal, eastern
overall, we know,
Pakistan,
we
the island
believe
chain of
that,
the
people
Maldives,
came
and
in
the
from, the
southern
Aryans
part of
came in
Sri
from
Lanka.
Central Asia.
There's also a small Indo-Aryan ethnic group called the Rohingya people that are related to the Bengalis and bleed over into
Yeah,
neighboring
the
Burma, but
Rohingyas
that's a
from
topic for
Myanmar.
another day. Overall, various Dravidian groups make up around 16% of India's population and around 13%
So
for
the
South Asia
Dravidians
as
are
a
actually
whole,
the
although this
inhabitants of India,
proportion
and I'm
is
pretty
falling
sure about
fast,
this.
with birth rates in northern India far outpacing those in the south.
Yeah, I
Dravidian
think my
people
education
generally
might
are
be to
much
blame for
darker in
that.
skin tone and hair color than the Indo-Aryans to the north and have different facial features of wider noses, larger lips, and a
So
more
that's
prominent
really
brow ridge.
crazy. It's a great thing
Indo-Aryans mostly
about our
have
country,
lighter
right?
skin,
So much
less
of
coarse hair,
variation.
and more Middle Eastern sort of features. Now, it's very important to realize
Again,
that skin
comparing Indian
color and
features to
facial
Middle Eastern
features
features, I don't think
are on a
that's a
spectrum
right
in South
approach. I think
Asia,
Indian
meaning
features
that anyone
are
from
very
any part of the
diverse,
region can have any of these
and it
traits,
has its
and some
own,
Indo-Aryan people from northern India
you know,
could actually be darker
feature.
than some Dravidian people from southern India. This is because of the extreme mixing that has gone on in the Indian subcontinent
Yeah,
in the
everybody
past
wanted
few
to move to
thousand
India
years,
for
with
some
pretty much
reason
all
in ancient
Indo-Aryans
and
having at least
medieval India.
some Dravidian ancestry and vice versa. It's important to note that judging what South Asian people look like by looking at celebrities from the region will definitely not give you an accurate picture as to what the average South Asian person looks like. It's actually very advantageous in the
I
entertainment
don't think so.
industries
I
of
think the
India,
industry now has
Pakistan, and
people from
Bangladesh to have
various
very fair skin and more
ethnicities, and
European looking features, so
I don't
it's
think
not
this is true.
uncommon to
Deepika
not
Padukone
find
has
a
such Indian
single Indian
features, and he was
actor
just
or
showing
actress in
Deepika's.
Bollywood that
Ranveer
has
Singh's
dark
Deepika's
skin,
picture. They have
despite
such
large
Indian
portions of the
features.
people having such skin color. Even Nina Davuluri, who is famously the first person of Indian descent to win Miss America in 2014, acknowledged that she would probably not have gotten very far in Indian modeling because her skin is too dark.
No, I think the
The
times have
Indo-Aryan
changed
groups that
now.
are on the
It
fringes
must
of the
be a couple of
subcontinent,
years
such
ago,
as
but
the
now I think the
Assamese
times
in the
have
far
changed.
northeast of India, or
There's
Nepalis in the
definitely
far
a love
north of the
for
region,
fair
generally
complexion
have
in
anywhere
India, but
from 15 to
I think
20%
people have started to
admixture from the
appreciate
neighboring East and Southeast
dark
Asian
skin,
people, since
uh,
Tibet lies
dark skin
directly to the
tones.
north of Nepal and India, and Bangladesh and Assam are very close to the border of Southeast Asia. There are even states in northeast India that are inhabited by Tibeto-Burman people or Thai-speaking peoples who appear to be more closely related to Southeast Asians than other South
Yeah,
Asians.
that's true.
Also, western
That's true for
Pakistan
most
is
part.
inhabited by the Baloch and Pashtun people, two ethnic groups that are of Iranian descent, being more closely related to the Persians of Iran. There's also a relatively small group called the Brahui people, who are the last
Now he's
remaining
talking about the
Dravidian-speaking
overall
population in
Indian
all of Pakistan.
subcontinent,
The rest of the
South
country is
Asia to
almost
be
entirely
precise.
inhabited by Indo-Aryans, such as the Sindhi people and Punjabi people. The largest group in the region by
Punjabi.
far
I
would be the
always get a
Hindi-speaking
nice
peoples of
laughter when they
northern
say
India,
Punjabi.
at around 600 million people. Although, as mentioned earlier, they can be divided into many smaller sub-ethnicities, such as the Biharis, Rajasthanis, and Chhattisgarhi
Good,
people, and
well
they
tried
probably wouldn't really
pronunciation.
appreciate me all that much calling them all the same ethnicity, but really I'm no expert on the subject. Other
I
distinct
agree. I agree. But you're
Indo-Aryan
doing a good
groups in
job.
India include the Marathis, the next largest people, who inhabit the state of Maharashtra, which
Maharashtra.
contains Mumbai or Bombay, the largest city in all of South Asia, the Gujarati, who are most famous for being the main merchants and traders of India,
That is
and the
true.
Bengali
That's
people, who are
true.
divided between the Indian state of West Bengal and the independent
Yeah,
country
I
of
don't like
Bangladesh,
this
with
fact
most
that
Indian
Bengalis are
Bengalis being
divided and then
Hindu and
Punjabis are
most
divided into two.
Bangladeshis being
I
Muslim.
think
The
this.
Punjabis are tricky because nearly
Oh,
all
so
of the
he talks about
Punjabis of
Punjabis.
Pakistan are Muslim, and they far outnumber the Punjabis of India, who are mostly of the Sikh
Yeah,
faith,
that's the earlier map
which,
of
no,
Punjab.
isn't a part of Islam or Hinduism, but a distinct religion of its own.
That's
The
true.
main Dravidian groups are the Tamils of southern India and northern Sri Lanka, the Malayali people of
Malayali
Kerala,
people, of
the
course.
Telugu people of
Telugu.
Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and the Kannada people. That's right, Kannada of Karnataka. The Tamil people in Sri
Karnataka.
Lanka have had a long
Kannada
and
people
bloody
from
conflict for
Karnataka.
independence from the Sinhalese-dominated government, who are actually the only Indo-Aryan group that is almost entirely Buddhist. There's also a large minority of mixed-race people in South Asia, known as the
Yes,
Anglo-Indians,
yes,
getting
there
their
are a couple of,
namesake from
I
their
don't know if many of
paternal
us know,
English
but there are a lot of
ancestors. When the British
Anglo-Indian
troops
community
were first
members
stationed in India in the late
in India,
1800s,
and
they didn't bring their
very
families or
well-to-do
wives
in
since they had a
Anglo-Indian
life
community
expectancy
members.
of only around 8 months, and as such often had affairs and even sometimes married the native Indian women from many different parts of the
Yeah,
country.
that's
Mixed race
true.
marriages were
That's
later
true.
deemed
That had happened in the
illegal by the
past.
British
I can
government in
certainly say
India,
that.
but by that time, the damage had been done. Over the past couple of centuries, they created their own communities, intermarrying within their own group, creating their own ethnic
But I
identity.
don't know
Today, they number up to 1 million
how that could
people,
be called a
which may sound
damage,
like a
because
lot, but
I
this is
think
only
India has always been about people from
0.1%
outside
of
moving into
India's
the country.
population, and are
We have had
scattered
a
throughout the
large immigrant
country,
population
with
for the
many
longest
more having
time.
moved
That's
abroad
why
to
so
other
much of
areas of
diversity, and we
significant
celebrate
South Asian
diversity. We love
diaspora, such
diversity.
as the UK, Australia, Canada, the US, and Southeast Asia. Other much smaller groups of foreign extraction in India are the Zoroastrian or Parsi people,
Parsis
who
people.
are of Persian
Parsi food is good,
Zoroastrian
guys. You must
origin,
try Parsi
and the
food. It's
Sidi
amazing.
people, who are of Southeast African Bantu origin and were brought to various regions of India as slaves by the Arabs and Portuguese. Although discrimination based on skin color has historically been quite high in the Indian subcontinent,
I
in
would
modern
agree
India, the
to
main
some
distinction
extent.
is
I think
generally
this is
not
something that we
between
need to
race
get
or
rid of. I
ethnicity,
think
but
color of
religion,
skin should
with
not
many
matter for
families
us.
actually being
But
quite tolerant of
nowadays
marriages between Indo-Aryans and
it's
Dravidians, yet
more,
the stigma between interfaith
um,
marriages
people are
remains
trying to
at
understand
around the
and
same
realize
since the
how
partition of
the West
India
wants to
in
go dark and
1947.
Indians
Because of migration,
want to go fair.
intermixing,
So
and
maybe we
assimilation,
are the
the
right skin
people of
tone.
India and South Asia are one of the most fascinating and unique populations of the planet, and one that everyone should learn about, even though
Yes,
I
they should.
probably horribly mispronounced every name in this video.
Yes, you did some
Thanks for
of them.
watching, everyone. This has been
But
Mason,
good job.
and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. I think you did a good job. I think he did a good job. He did a very good job with it, and I think I really enjoyed the video, except for a couple of pronunciations of his, and I wish it would have been more accurate, because I think it's expected from Indians to have to pronounce Western words correctly, but I think it should apply the other way as well. So I think that was a good video. I enjoyed it. So much I already knew from the video, but then at the end of the day, if there's someone who doesn't know about India or South Asia or about the Indian ethnicity, or not the Indian ethnicity, the Indian culture, then certainly it's a good video to watch and learn. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments, do write them down below, and you have to subscribe and encourage me to make more videos of this sort. Bye for now. Have a good one.